Hey, what's going on, guys? Grant here. In this video, I'm going to break down our $1 million ad campaign and basically go through all of the numbers throughout the entire funnel to show you how we basically executed this campaign for our business. Commently, we're a software company, and a lot of takeaways you'll have from this video are pretty much how to look at your entire funnel, right? And when I say funnel, I mean like literally the front end funnel on the marketing side, the middle of the funnel where your sales team is operating, and then kind of the bottom of the funnel where your sales team is still operating to close the deal, okay? This video is going to be really helpful for other software companies that do demos. It will also be really helpful for high ticket coaches, consultants, agencies, people that have a call funnel type of situation. And again, I think there's gonna be a lot of takeaways here for you because we spent a couple $100,000. You can see here, I have a Google Sheet screenshot here on my iPad, and I'm gonna basically walk you through these numbers. In this, you can see up here, we spent $254,000 on ads, and the total revenue was $1.1 million and change. And that's actually just over the course of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this was a 5-month period. We actually did run this campaign for full 12 months, spent a couple $100,000. This thing did over 2 million and change in new revenue, right? So new revenue generated for our company just from this ad campaign alone, okay? And I'm going to walk you through the entire situation, right? How do we drive the ads? What did that look like? How do we get people on the calls? How do we close them? The entire ordeal, okay? So let's go ahead and start here. Let me get rid of this stuff. And what I want to do is basically start at the top here, okay? So this area up top. So you can pretty much see each month, June, July, August, September, October. We were spending, June we spent, what was that? June we spent 30 grand, July 44, August we scaled up 76, September came down. So you can see for the most part, the spend was pretty consistent. And what I want to do is pretty much talk about this right here. The amount of calls, okay, so 740 calls total, and the cost per booking. This is the number one most important part of no matter what, when you're running paid traffic, this is the single most important thing is your cost per X. Like, what are you measuring? What is it costing you to get someone on a call? What is it costing you to get them as a lead, right? And in this situation, we were looking at cost per booking. So how much was it costing us to drive someone to book a call? And then right here, cost per live call. Okay, so this here and then right here, cost per live call and cost per booking. Okay, now you can see here the cost per booking, 343, and this total column is all of them combined, of course. This is the average across all the months. So on average, $343 to get somebody to book a call with us. Okay, it seems high, right? You're like, oh my gosh, that's incredibly high. $254,000 in spend. We got 740 bookings. You do the math, $343 to get someone to book. And then, a lot of people measure that, and that's great. But I also need to measure how many are turning into the actual live call, right? Because there's what's called a show rate, right? Just because everyone books does not mean they're going to show up. And this is where I've looked at so many of these funnels. I can tell you with the experience I have and all the data I've looked at, you have to have, if you want a funnel that can scale to 7-8 figures, you have to have a show rate above 70%. Okay, 65 maybe, but absolutely has to be above 70%. And you can see here, our show rate was 75% across. Even some months, you can see here in August, which is surprising, that's a vacation month, but 80%, okay? And the reason why is because if you're getting all these people to book and they're not showing up, well, you either have a show up problem, and we'll talk about that, or two, you have a quality problem. People that are booking are just literally not qualified. They're not quality appointments, okay? So we are analyzing this very heavily. Now, I want to take you through what we did to achieve a 75% show up rate, okay? So first things first, okay? We'll go down here. When you have your ad, okay? When you have an ad, okay, so we'll just do this here. You have your ad. this is driving people to the lander, right? And this is where they're going to opt in and they're going to put their name, their email, whatever. Okay. And they're going to, you should really be qualifying people on this page. Okay. And I talk about this a lot in other videos. You need a qualifying question, at least one. And it's a filter mechanism to push away unqualified people and to let the qualified people pass through. An example of this is at Cometly, we asked the question, how much do you spend on ads? Okay, so how much money do you spend on your ads? This is Cometly's qualifying question. So I'll just put down here, qualifying question. And this is what we would call, again, in our training, and we call it a VIP conversion. Okay, when somebody opts in on Cometly and they answer, I spend more than $5,000 a month on ads, that's the qualifying question. We let them pass through. The reason that's really important is because then they come to this calendar page. Okay, so they're going to come to this calendar page where they're going to basically pick a time. That's my calendar, and they're going to go ahead and pick a time and they're going to book, right? So we will let people that answered our qualifying question, we'll let them book. Other people, we will not let them book, okay? Because again, there's no point for us to get on a call if we ask one qualifying question and we know our ideal customer, like you should. If you know your ideal customer, if you're in the weight loss space and it's like, hey, are you willing to spend money on your fitness this year? Yes or no? If they put no, don't get on a call with them, right? Or there's tons of other examples out there. But you basically let only the qualified people schedule. Okay, now, yes, that is going to absolutely bring up your cost per booking here, right? So your cost per booking is going to go up when you do this, but it's good. This is what's called good friction. You don't want too low of a cost, of booking, because then you're going to have a lot of unqualified people filling up the calendars of your sales team, which is bad. You do not want that. Now, look, guys, a lot of people put a setter right in here too. So they'll have somebody opt in. They'll then basically place inside of this part here, right here, they'll have a setter. And the setter, usually they'll send people directly to the calendar, but if they don't book on their own, they'll have the setter reach out, okay? We didn't even do that. When we had this whole process dialed in so well, we didn't even need the setter, the 75% without a setter, okay? So, but you can set up a setter. You have your closers, you have setters. You can have a setter. Hi, this is Grant from Cometly. Just reaching out to you, John, because I saw that you wanted to learn more about our ad tracking software, and you didn't book a call with us. So I'm just reaching out. What works for you, right? Basically, literally, they call them and get them booked. And, but again, we didn't even use a setter here. So we drove them right to a calendar page. And then the other important thing is after the calendar page, so after they book their call, what you do is you send them to another, basically a thank you page. Okay, thanks. And what we do have here is a video. Okay, and the video is actually a video of me, and the video is like, hey, what's up? It's Grant. Thanks for scheduling with us. We're looking forward to meeting you and talking about how we can help you with your ad tracking. A couple quick things before the call, right? And you're basically going through housekeeping, okay? First thing is check your calendar, okay? So they have to check their calendar, okay? Calendar. 2, show up on time. 3, anything else that they need for the call. Like for us, we say come prepared, be at a computer. And for us, because it's like, hey, we're going to do a demo. We're going to do a live demo. So make sure you're at your computer, things like that. I always tell people like, hey, don't be driving in the car. That's not what this type of demo is going to be. Stuff like that. So you really have to think through, okay, where do I want, what types of things do I need someone coming to this call? Stuff like that. And then the fourth thing, and this is where the magic happens. Check your phone. Okay, text. Hey, check your phone. My team just texted you. Okay, my team just texted you from their cell, and you're gonna get a text soon from one of my salespeople. Okay, and guys, that I would say is the biggest. That is the biggest thing that really moved the needle on the show rate. Okay, that will. I've analyzed funnels without SMS. I've analyzed them with SMS. This literally changes the game. Okay, I've actually seen a funnel where they had setters in place. I don't know what these setters were doing. Their show rate was like 60 some percent. I basically told the customer, I was like, look, you kind of got to get rid of this setter. We can just set you up with an automated text. I literally showed them the sequence that we had for Cometly. Took them from like a 60 some up to 75. Okay. So the texting sequence, and again, like the first message that we send them is, hey, it's blank, shooting you a text on my cell. Just want to confirm your appointment for, and then you can dynamically put the time in. Shooting you a text to confirm the appointment for Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Shoot me a text back here on my cell to confirm, okay? And guys, this changes the game. You will see literally our average reply to this was like a couple hours. Everybody's texting. Everybody just wants simple, hey, what's up? Yeah, it's Bill. We're good. Let's go. So, talk to you Tuesday. The other thing that this really does is helps with rescheduling. So you will see a massive uptick in the amount of people that aren't canceling, but just rescheduling. When they feel like they're talking to one-on-one to a human, just like you do with your friend or whatever, there's this respect, right? There's a respect of like, okay, this person's actually taking their time to text me. Little do they know the first text is automated. And they feel the need to reply back, okay? So that's really important. So biggest takeaway from this top one, guys, up here is SMS, okay? This is what will move the needle to get you a good show rate, okay? So again, our 75%, pretty damn good, okay? Now we move into, let me go ahead and get rid of all this stuff down here. Okay. Hope this is helpful so far, guys. Okay. So let's clear this out. And now I'm excited to talk to you guys about the middle area here, okay? This area right here. So then we move into the call, okay? And the call, I'm not going to go into too much detail on the way we actually conduct our sales calls. I will do that in another video, not to toot our own horn here, but I will for 1 second. You can see that we close 55% of the deals to close. So we literally close over half the people we open deals for. And it's because of our call script and all of that type of stuff. So I will go into that. If you guys want that, go ahead and leave that in the comments below so I know that that's something that you guys would want. Okay, so middle of the funnel, deals created. These are the things we measure. And again, I hope you guys are taking this away, which is like, you know, you maybe you don't need to measure every single thing here like we do, and we actually even measure more than this, but you should be measuring like 1 or 2 metrics from each of these areas, right? So you should measure how much are you spending, you know, how much are you spending on ads, and you should measure what the cost is for you to get a lead or a book call, and then you should see how many of those people show up. Then when they get to the call, how many deals is your sales team opening, right? And what I mean by a deal open is like anyone that is qualified and probably will close in the next 2 weeks, 14 days. That for us would be a deal created event, okay? And we would track that. So track stuff, okay? It really matters. What you track gets better, okay? You analyze it, you improve on it. So deals created. We opened 269 deals here on 557 live calls, okay? Call to deal rate percentage, that is how many, 269 into 557. So call to deal rate, 48%. Why does this number matter? It measures the quality of your calls. It measures the quality of the calls, okay? So call to deal percentage equals quality. That is how you determine. We're getting a lot of calls. Are these people even quality? Like, are they qualified? Is it your sales team will let you know. Your sales team will let you know, and you will know through this metric. Okay. And the reason is because the sales team is not going to open a deal unless the person is qualified. Do they have does the pricing match? Do they have the financial resources to buy your product? Is there urgency? Are they going to wait till next year to buy? Are they going to buy in the next 2 weeks or even today or, whatever? So this is how you measure if somebody is, if people coming to the calls, if they're qualified. And that actually ties back, guys. That ties back here to your marketing spend. Okay. So you can kind of see how this ties into how many deals they're opening, which ties into the call to deal rate. Okay. So anyway, basically from there, we look at the call to deal rate and we say, okay, if it's around 50%, we know we're in a good spot. All right. If it's lower than that, then we need to adjust the ads, maybe add some more friction to the booking software, the booking funnel. So basically, again, the qualifying question, maybe we need to add 2 qualifying questions. Is my sales team getting on too many calls? Are they getting on too many calls and the calls are not qualified enough? We need more friction. I want them getting on less calls with more qualified people. Okay. Are we not getting on enough calls? Then we need to remove friction. Okay. Friction as in the qualifying question. Okay. So that's what you got to analyze there. That's really important. Okay, now the next thing, cost per deal created. Okay, $946. Holy cow, Grant, you guys are spending almost $1,000 to open a deal. Yeah, we are. And guess what? It's not a problem because, again, we'll get to the bottom. You can already probably see them, but it's not a problem when your close rate is 55%. And 55%, and the average sale price is $7,700, right? We'll get down there in a minute. But up here, we're not looking at that. We're looking at the cost per deal created. So we look at cost per deal created. And this is also something that I don't see enough, at least software companies and coaches, consultant businesses doing. We track the deal created value. So every time your sales team opens a deal, maybe it's for 10 grand, 20 grand, 50 grand, 5 grand, whatever. That's not recognized revenue, of course. The deal hasn't closed, but it's deal created value. And what we like to look at here, okay, is actually the PGDS, pipeline generated per dollar spent. So here I'm actually generating $8.57 of pipeline for every single dollar I spend. This is similar to a ROAS metric, return on ad spend, but it's really like return on pipeline generated. So this is a really good metric to track, and it does help you literally look back on, are we generating quality calls? Are we generating quality appointments for our sales team? The answer is yes if you're seeing a very high PGDS. Okay, so we look at this middle of funnel area, and again, deals created and the way that this call is conducted, we pretty much run a very simple, intro for the sales process, the sales call, discovery. Okay, then we move into a transition. Okay, and then we move into the pitch, and then the 5th is we move into the close. Okay, which is like objection handling and stuff like that. So we run an intro. Hey, welcome to the call, blah, blah, blah. Tell me why you're on this call today. What's going on with the business? The discovery, this is where again, we'll do a separate video on this. Every single deal is won and lost in discovery. If you're a salesperson or you know anything about sales, you know this is the big thing. If you're not, then I'll do another video on that and we'll kind of walk through what this call looks like. We transition to the pitch. The pitch for Cometly software company, we're doing a demo. Okay, for coaches, consultants, agencies, that type of stuff, this is where you basically just state your pitch. You bring it back to the discovery all the things they talked about in the discovery, what's painful, why do they need your help, all that type of stuff. And then you shut your mouth and then you move into the close. Okay, you move into price points, you move into objection handling, how to get the deal closed. Ideally on the same call, right? And there's a lot of cool things you can do on the same call to get the deal closed. For software companies, it's less common and you have to run a deal flow pipeline, stuff like that. Okay, so really quick high level overview of like what a sales call looks like. Again, we'll go into that in another video. Okay, then let's now bring down, let's get rid of all this. Okay. And let's get into this final step here. So let's get down here to this area. So the very, very first thing we're looking at is deal to close rate. How many of the deals we're opening are converting? Okay, very, very important. This case, it was 55%. Of the deals we were opening, 269, we closed 149 of them. Okay, this is really important. It is right in the area that I want it to be. It's almost too high. And I'll tell you why. Grant, how could it be too high? We want to close 100% of our deals. No, you don't. If this is too high, your pricing's too low, right? Now, I'm good with like 45 to 55%. I think that's fine, especially when you're going for velocity and you're trying to capture the market. You want to win customers. So it's better to have this, be higher and the pricing be lower. But if you are closing like 70% of the deals that your team's opening, your pricing is not high enough. Okay, you're closing too many people, and for us that got here in October, we closed 81% of the deals. Deals created 38. I can't see that now. Where did? Oops. Okay, 31. 31. Closed. That's 81%. We spent 48K on ads and we generated 262,000 in revenue that month. Okay. That was when we sort of realized that our pricing was not high enough at $8,400. Okay. So you have to keep a look at that because again, everybody thinks, oh my God, we're closing every deal. This is so great. This is so awesome. You're leaving a lot of money on the table if your deal to close rate is too high. The other thing you got to look at here, and this is where all of this stuff will then tie back to how much money you are spending on your ads, and this gets really, really important, is the revenue per call and the cost per acquisition, okay? So we're looking here. Let me do this. Okay, we're looking at this number. 1,700 overall, cost per close one, and the average sale price. Okay, so this number is what it's costing us. Okay, how much did we spend and how many customers do we drive? 149 on $252,000 in revenue. $1,700 is what it cost us to get a customer. The average customer, ASP is average sale price, ACV, average contract value, annual contract value, whatever you want to do. ASP, average sale price, $7,700. That right there, $7,700 into $1,700, that's your margin. Okay? That's where we are going to get our ROAS, 4.53, pretty much. Okay? Because the ROAS, as everybody should know, 1.1 million on 254,000. Okay, so that right there is the big, giant, most important number of all time. So that's pretty much how that works out, okay? So guys, again, the big thing here is when it comes to looking at these numbers, you have to figure out what the baseline is for your market, for like your typical business. And then you need to figure out what the baseline is for yours, for your ad campaign, okay? And you have to look at this the full way through. And at the very least, you basically track your spend, okay? I would be tracking my spend, what it cost me, what it literally cost me to get someone to book. You don't necessarily need to track cost per live call, really, but you do need to measure your show rate. That's by far, I would say, probably one of the most important metrics. How many deals you're creating. And then then you, of course, like how many deals you're winning, Like I'm kind of going down this list because I've already slimmed it down. Our list like goes on for a little bit longer. But I'm kind of looking at this and I'm like, yeah, I kind of did pick already the metrics that you really need to be tracking. So I would say look at all of these and copy them. Okay, track all of these. So, but yeah, guys, this video has gone on a little bit longer than I wanted to, but I really wanted to take the time to break this down for you because I think it's crucial that if you know how to track all of these metrics and you can look at it this way, you can start going through, oh, okay, this metric affects that metric, right? How many deals we open here, and how many we close is our deal to close rate, right? Like you can start looking at things like that and see how they affect each other, okay? And at the end of the day, that's really what you have to do is look at these analytics, be able to kind of pick them apart, piece them back together, how X affects Y, how Y affects Z, and be able to go from there. And again, guys, the other thing too is like, we didn't get into it too much into this video, but like there's big swings. There's big swings month over month here, okay? And sometimes you can see that, right? So I'll just pull out an example here. Like if I look at right here, September, look at the call to deal rate, right? Right here. Look at September. Everything else, 41, 45, 45, boom, 60%. I know what happened that month. We had a sales rep who went a little trigger happy, started opening a deal for like every call they were getting on. And I was like, what are you doing? You can't just like open all these deals. These people aren't really qualified. And yeah, so that like really spiked it. But if that happens and then you have a longer sales, or you have a longer time to close, you can look at, that and you can be like, oh, wow, look at this 81%. We closed probably because we opened a ton of deals in September, right? So you can start looking at things like that, all right? Anyway, guys, hope this video was helpful. Went on a little bit long, but yeah, track your metrics, know how things affect each other, and I'll see you guys in the next video. If you guys want the full roadmap, I've built a free Facebook ad course that walks you through every single step, how to double your conversions while slashing your ad costs. It's got templates, setups, and the exact playbooks that I use to turn $1 into $5 every single time. Now to get it, just comment course below and I'll send you early access instantly.